What does the NCAA think? Okay. Well, here's the problem. September 2025, NCAA gave complete loss of eligibility to 3 players, a couple from Fresno State, another for San Jose State, for betting on their own games. In these cases, they engaged in some prop bets. That's just not good. Okay. 3 players, permanent loss of eligibility. In November 2025, players from New Orleans, Mississippi Valley, Arizona State also bet on their own games, included some prop bets, complete permanent loss of eligibility. Okay. And so you might say, oh, that's because this is what, his attorneys are arguing. He didn't make prop bets. He didn't fix games. So no harm, no foul. But there's always one. So the case that is most analogous to Brendan Sorsby is Hunter Dekker. Hunter Dekker was the Iowa State quarterback. He bet on a game involving his own team in 2021. The NCAA stripped him of his remaining eligibility permanently. The Iowa State filed 2 appeals. They were both denied. He did not receive his eligibility back. And those facts are the most analogous to Mr. Sorsby. Okay, so I indicated to you that there's this reinstatement approach. And so there's this multi-step analysis that the NCAA goes through to determine if reinstatement of eligibility is important. And it goes in order. So you got to go through each gate. Okay. And either the gate either helps you to support a claim for reinstatement, or it hurts you, where it says you should not be reinstated. The first item is the type of conduct, and betting on your own team is the most severe. Loss of eligibility almost always happens. Matter of fact, in the case of always happens when you bet on your own team. That does not work in Mr. Sorsby's favor. Okay. Number 2, the second factor. Okay, in order of importance. Was it on purpose? He bet on games intentionally. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't an accident. He didn't slip up. Most severe penalty. That does not help his claim for reinstatement. Number 3, how much was wagered and how frequently? He wagered thousands of dollars. In the NCAA analysis, they got an $800 threshold. Okay, so if just a little bit of money, that's minor. He's got thousands of dollars. It's wagered how much and how frequently. Repeatedly, thousands of bets, thousands of dollars, most severe, does not work in his favor. So we got 3 factors, none of which support reinstatement at this point. Okay. Number 4, was it on his own team or own sport? So if it's on your own sport, but a different school, it's less severe. If it's on your own team, it's more severe. Again, this factor works against reinstatement for Mr. Sorsby. Number 5, was there harm? There was none here. Okay, so that works in his favor. But we got the first 4. That's the most severe. Number 5, we finally get a little bit of relief. Number 6, how did the athlete behave after the violation? Did he cooperate? Did he accept responsibility? In this case, yes, he did. And therefore, that works in favor of Mr. Sorsby. Okay. Number 7, was he willing to enter into or to get rehabilitation? In this case, he was. That works in Mr. Sorsby's favor. Remember, I told you all those things that the Texas Tech president said, all those things that his lawyer said about he immediately cooperated once he was found out. He immediately went into rehab. Here's all the things we're going to do to make him better. Okay, trying to build this case on these lower tier factors. Now, next, institutional oversight. This is just binary. It either helps you or it's not helpful at all. Okay. Did the institution share fault in knowing about this or not having the right protocols in place? The institution shared no fault. Institution had the right systems in. There's no discussion about Indiana and Cincinnati and what they did, but Texas Tech has no fault. It neither helps nor hurts Mr. Sorsby. Number 9, is there an ability to restore the status quo? This is really about, can we put him back in the position he was in before all this happened? Can you have a softer penalty? Can you make it less severe than this permanent loss of eligibility? Well, clearly you always could, but what are the factors here that would support that? So I think that nothing supports making a softer penalty. And finally, okay, they always look at prior precedent. What have we done in similar facts in similar situations? And in this case, Mr. Dekker's facts are immediately on point. Iowa State QB who bet on a game involving his own team in 2021. His appeals were denied, lost eligibility. That does not work in Mr. Sorsby's favor. Okay, so you got all these factors. Everybody's trying to line up all these things on these lower level factors that support reinstatement, whereas the top level factors do not support reinstatement. So he's trying to get a permanent injunction so he can continue to play football. But first he needs to get a temporary injunction. I think he's not going to get either one because I think that the harm to the defendant is greater than the harm to the plaintiff. I think that the NCAA has a track record of saying we defend these kinds of suits aggressively. Okay. And if you, court, now say it is okay for a single individual to bet on games and still get to play football, you are opening up the floodgates for all these people who have done so. So I think that the NCAA will not lose on this ruling on this preliminary injunction. I think Mr. Sorsby and his team knows that is the likely result, that they're unlikely to win. First, they're unlikely to win an appeal with the NCAA based on the Dekker case, Iowa State QB. I think they're unlikely to get a temporary or permanent injunction. And I think he likely knows this. But, we recall Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I think they're just trying to shoot the shot and see how it comes out. Anyway, that's a lot, but that unpacks the whole thing that's happening with Sorsby and why the case is going on and what they hope to achieve. And here we go. I wish the best for him. I think the facts do not line up in his favor to get reinstated, but we shall see. As always, let me know what you think.